One of the questions we've been asked most so far about these vehicles is why have they been cut so badly? Why has the gun been cut off, etc., etc.? That's because they have to be demilitarized before we're allowed to buy them. This particular one was demilitarized to US spec. This is what the Americans insisted was done before they were allowed to be sold on. So I'll jump up there and I'll just give you a quick rundown of exactly what they did. The most obvious thing you notice straight away is the gun's been cut off. This is not an engineer's variant, this is actually the original 105, and the other half of it is down here. And all they've done really is gas axe through here, and as you can see from this end of this one, it is a bit of a state. We will weld it back together. Obviously you'll never be able to fire around from it, which is the idea, but at least it'll look okay from outside. And then moving on a bit further, the next thing you notice is this cross in the side here and this bit up here. This is the commander's cupola, and what they've done here is they've gas axed right through, all the way through. That goes all the way through to the inside, and the idea is to get rid of the integrity of the armour, so it can never be used in anger again. We'll make it look about right. It'll all be welded up just so the cut's not there, but this is nothing. You wait till you see the front. Now this is the harshest piece of the demill. As you can see, it's been gas axed right through here, right through there. I mean, just look at the thickness of armour. And then you move to here, and it's been cut all the way underneath. But just look at that. That is certainly going to take a bit of sorting out. I can get my whole hand in there. And all of that molten metal that went from this cut has gone inside and set fire to anything in there that could possibly burn. So all right, she looks pretty good from outside, but inside is a different kettle of fish. And I'll get in there and just give you a quick look at the inside of our driver's area. Well, like I said, we'll get inside and show you the damage that's been done in here. It's quite extensive, I can tell you. As you come forward, we've got your first dashboard. This one's actually not in too bad a condition. Second one though, just look at that. Everything there is pretty well had it. They are the gauges. I think we can get all the gauges though, so I'm not overly concerned about that, or possibly even just a new box, but we'll see. Further down, got your handbrake. That's your handbrake. All the wiring there has been set fire to. The wiring loom goes up back underneath the turret. That's obviously going to all need replacing. Not the end of the world though. This one's had a bit of water in. Hopefully not too much. Up here a bit, that's the gear selector. That looks like it's been pretty well welded. Yeah, pretty well welded solid. Throttle. We got a bit of movement. Don't know how much, but there's a bit of movement there. And then, if you can see under here, this is where all the slag is. You can see there by my feet. That's actually just landed on the armour and it's not stuck, so most of that'll come out without too much problem. The steering. There's your steering tiller. Whoa. And that seems to have welded itself up there. So it's welded to that pipe there. I think it's nearly cut it through as well, so that's a bit of a nuisance, but it's only a bit of pipe, so we'll fix that. Brake master cylinder, as you saw on other videos, that's right up underneath there. How the heck they change that or fix it when it's not with the front cut out, I do not know. But I'll get somebody small to fix that one. And that's your brake pedal, which is absolutely solid, as you would imagine. What else? Then you can see the cut. You can see the cut here. That's where the actual cut is. Comes from there all the way underneath and up here. And that's your thickness of the armour just on this little bit. The rest of it's a lot thicker. So then we come around the other side and get past me. I'll move that leg without any damage. These are your fire extinguishers. When they gas axe through, you've got to assume they still had a bit of gas in when they started, which could have gone with a nice bang. There's nothing in them now, but so they're there. You can see the other cut. But other than that, a little bit of burn on the seat down here. Other than that though, it's actually not too bad. You know, we've restored all sorts of things. Stuff off the ranges that's actually been shot at. And this one is, in comparison, is pretty complete and not too bad. We're not overly daunted by this one. And obviously we're not doing it so it goes back to battlefield conditions. This won't be welded up properly. It'll be welded so it's safe, but obviously it'll never be able to go back into action. That's the whole plan of it being demilled. But we'll go a bit further back now and have a look in the turret and see what you think of that. Here we are in the turret, and here's the damage that's been caused in the turret. Cut here all the way through and up into the commander's cupola, which is up here. I don't know if you can see the cut there. Cut through, and all the slag has fell onto here. So the turret doesn't actually move anymore. It's very fine teeth in there. We're not sure if they're actually cut through the teeth or whether that is just the slag that's jamming it. I'm not sure yet. But at the moment, it's not very good. Quite cool though. We've got a seat up here. That's your commander's seat. I don't know how that works. There you go. You can see even these have got burnt though. That's not very good. You've got to get these upholstered. A lot of slag down here. Not great, but it'll all come off. Not too worried. Traverse here. Some of the bits of this have been cut as well. Not going to worry too much about it. Not going to need it to traverse particularly quick, so we're not overly concerned there either. And we'll repair what we can, what we're allowed to. Same on the other side. If you have a look on the behind the cameraman here, we've got another cut all the way through here, and you can see daylight through there. And it's actually melted the ammunition box there, but luckily it hasn't gone through to these teeth, so it's not done quite as much damage as it could have done. So again, repairable. Never going to war in it, so we don't need it to be perfect. All it needs to do is look good for the museum.
Is there any wiring or hydraulics that the turret cuts have gone through?
There's no wiring on this side that it's gone through, but on this side here, if you look up under here, there's a fair bit of wiring there. At the moment, we don't really know what that all does, but it's definitely not going to work. We do believe that's where the radios and the searchlight stuff, and there's a big fan at the back. So hopefully it's nothing that's going to worry the vehicle itself, the tank itself too much. It's just for these bits, which we'll see. If we get a new wiring loom, we will. If not, we're not overly concerned. So we'll see how we go. They've also demilled the gun, which is pretty standard for any tank that you buy that's from any kind of military. What they've done here is they've gas axed through here. That's through the breech ring. Got the breech block down here. I don't know if the cameraman can see here where it's cut. It's basically so that you can never fire a shell, which is fine because we'd never want to fire a shell. We are registered firearms dealers, so we are allowed to have it in this state. This is still classed in the UK as a live gun. Obviously, you never fire anything, but in the UK law, this is still a live gun. So it's on our Section 1 license. Whether we demill it completely, which means that we weld a bung in here and cut another slot so that you never should put a shell in, we haven't decided yet. Just look at the grease up here. Look at that. So in theory, everything on there should move. And a lot of this horrible stuff is just soot. So I think it'll clean up relatively well. You need a small man in here with a big cloth, and I don't think it'll take a lot to make it look ship-shape. None of this area has really been damaged. It's just soot that's got up in here, so we're quite confident that we'll get that all looking ship-shape again. But famous last words, I know. But nearly all ex-military vehicles you buy, especially main battle tanks, have to be deactivated before you can have them. That's fine. It just goes with the job of restoring. But other than that, he's not in very bad condition. So I hope that answers a few of the questions we've been asked. If anybody has anything else they'd like to know, please let us know, and we'll do our best to answer them.